Okay, so we're going to look at writing and solving a multi-step equation. And we're given a word problem here, the dreaded word problem. So we got a music store sold 3/5 of their hip hop CDs. Now we know this is an old problem because there's not many CDs being sold today, but notwithstanding, we'll continue. A music store sold 3/5 of their hip hop CDs, but 10 were returned. Now the store has 62 hip hop CDs. How many were there originally? Well, let's start by thinking about, let's define a variable. And let's say that C equals the number of original CDs. So how many we had originally. Now we sold 3/5 of those. So we could say that when the amount sold is 3/5 CD, 3/5 of C. That's the amount sold. But we also know that of that amount, 10 were returned, and we now have 62. So there's a couple of ways we could set this up. Let's do it like this. So we got C, that's the total amount we had originally, minus what we sold, 3/5 C, and that equals the 62. Now I'm going to do it this way. But of that amount that was sold, we know that 10 of those have been returned, and we now have 62. Now, C minus 3/5 C, that was the amount sold, but we've had 10 come back in the door, and we've got a total amount of 62 in the door. We can think about it like this. We had an original amount that was C. That's how many we had on hand. 3/5 of those left, but 10 came back. All right, let's go ahead and solve this thing. Let's first start by subtracting 10 from both sides. So now we got C minus 3/5 C equals 52. 10's over here cancel. That's going to leave me with 52. All right, now C minus 3/5 C. Well, let's rewrite this as 5 over 5C, which is really just 1. 5 over 5 just equals 1, minus 3/5 C, the amount that were sold, and now we've got this equal to 52. Well, 5/5 minus 3/5 gives me 2/5 C, 2 over 5C, and that equals 52. Now, the inverse of 2 over 5 is 5 over 2. And so if I want to isolate the C, then I can say that if I multiply 5 over 2 times 2/5 C, and what I do to one side, I must do to the other, 52 times 5 over 2. Well, over here on the left-hand side, these are going to cancel and just leave me with C. And so now C equals 52 times 5 over 2. All right, so let's see. If I take 52 times 5, that equals 260. And then if I divide that by 260 by 2, I get 130. So C, the number of original CDs, is 130. And that's my answer. Okay, we're going to look at another one that's not quite as tricky as that one was. That one's a little bit tricky. All right, so in this one we got Lynn. So Lynn has read 3/4 of a graphic novel over the weekend. And then on Monday he read 22 more pages. If he has read 220 pages, how many pages does the book have? Well, let's see. Let's set a variable. Let's say that P equals the number of pages. Now, I think from there we can probably set up our equation. So let's see, if he read 3/4 of the pages, 3/4 P on the weekend, and then on Monday he read 22 pages, and now he has read a total of 220 pages. All right. He read 3/4 of the book, or 3/4 of the pages, plus 22, for a total amount of pages read of 220. And we want to find out how many pages does the book have. Well, let's begin in here. We got an equation. Let's subtract 22 from both sides. And now we're going to have 3/4 P equals 220 minus 22 is going to be 198. Okay, so we got 3/4 P equals 198. I got 3/4 times P. I want to do the inverse of that, and the inverse of 3/4 is 4/3. So I'm going to multiply both sides of this equation by 4/3. So that gives us 198 times 4/3 on the left-hand side. And over here on the right-hand side, again, these are going to cancel. I'm going to be just left with P equals 198 times 4/3. Well, let's perform that. Let's see. I got 198 times 4 and divide that by 3. And so the total number of pages in the book is 264. So he starts with 264. He reads 3/4 of those in one day. Let's see. Let's take 264 times 3/4, 3/4. What does that equal? That would be 198 plus 22, 222 pages read. We've got a total number of pages in the book, Shazam, of 264. We've got to do some thinking on some of these word problems. That's why we love to do them, because it makes us think.